I redstone it all. Hello everyone, my name is IJ, and welcome to Project Redstoneworld Devlog, episode 35. Today is the first proper devlog in about exactly a year, with that being episode number 30. Now, between then, we've had other devlogs, but these have all been more special episodes. 31 was the 13-year anniversary, 32 was Reborn X, 33 was the Museum devlog by Ezra Thunder, and 34 was our ArcCorp Rail deep dive. Today, we are finally returning back to our normal devlogs. I've definitely missed this, and we have a lot of changes to cover. Now, it's been a bit of a weird year. Clearly, we've had two big events go on, and that definitely slows down some build progress during those times, but we've still got a lot done and a lot to talk about today. So we're actually going to start out very far away from the FIRTC area. We are going out west, as we usually do in the start, to talk about our DOS region sectors. Now, as I said in the 13-year anniversary video, the bunker and the cruise ship are marked good to go for release, so there may be some tweaks in there. Ooh, there's a ghost pod. There may be some tweaks, but it's mostly done. So we don't have much to talk about over there, but where we do have stuff going on is in the Themepark area. Now, there are some tweaks all around the theme park insides, and we still have something in progress under this roof here, but the big under construction area of the theme park is, of course, our beautiful tropical water park. So there's definitely been some changes here in the last year. Not too much. Some of them are actually very recent, but we've got this area that's kind of been changed to a desert, so we're going more with that tropical vibe here. I mean, more like a beach. I believe some of the water slides have extra functionality added to them, and they just work a little bit better. The old elevator that was right here got replaced with this giant multi-floor one. What is that? That's 8 floors. I don't know what this is going to be all filled up with. This is still like the old planets before, and I know that this restaurant, I don't know why there's a alley here. This restaurant here got a lot of its technicals torn up, so I don't really know what's going on here. I think this thing may still work. But yeah, water park's a bit odd over there, but it's looking really nice. And then the big new thing that was just added in here recently is we have the coal mine crypts. Now, if you were around here in about June 2022, I would say, I don't know if this was ever featured in a devlog, you may know about the Chambo land. And that was just a plot world plot that Redstone Chambo and I worked on. And we did a lot of redstone prototyping and all that, but we also made our own little amusement park. And you can see it here. It's got this big mountain that has been referenced a billion times. Big Chambo, Big Mountain, whatever the heck it is.
Here, Big Mountain, Chambo Mountain, Roller Coaster Mountain. Any day now.
But then there's also this roller coaster here, and this was the really fun one because it used commands. It had all this cool stuff. So that is being brought back to life here through the water park. So this is where you'd enter that roller coaster, and now it's not connected yet, but you could come down here, and this is that roller coaster. So I'm not going to ride through it because that's at least, I think, like a 5-minute ride around that. This dude's still following me. This is gonna piss me off. But the commands have all been updated, and it's gonna be really fun to ride in here. It already fully is functional, but there's like a chase scene in this. There's a anti-catalyst scene, and this is really fun. So I am looking forward to see this, fully connected up to the surface of the water park. Now, for once, I don't actually have to spend half an hour talking about the changes out west, and we can go towards the central sectors. So, let's fly over to spawn. Oh no. I think we have a visitor.
Hello.
Oh
Special
no.
guest appearance.
Why did I bring you back?
Yeah, why am I here? Why did you invite me? Why am I here?
Again, because I hate myself.
Okay, that's great. That's great, Mr. IJD. That is great.
Now, I already noticed a change since the last year. It no longer says senior above your name.
Oh, yes.
In fact,
yes,
NTE is broken, but you have... Okay, there we go. Now you have your proper title.
Yay.
Yeah, head admin. And what's your long title?
Deputy Director of Technical Aspects.
Wow!
Yeah, it's a great title.
Alright. So, starting off in Founding Island. What has changed, sir?
Well, okay, Great did a little revamp here. I know, I believe on the 9th year anniversary, there was something similar where the spawn building was slightly revamped. We've got basically the same idea here for Reborn X. Great did a small change on this spawn building. You have this new roof up here, and the IJD little text thing has been pushed forward, if that makes a huge difference.
Yep, and we had to go through a bunch of changes over here. I kept fighting with him because the arrows kept getting blocked off, so what we had to settle on is that this log here is actually a block display, so that the security still works, and I believe the second floor got redone a little bit. Yeah, so my old, goofy bar and all that got deleted, and now it got made a little bit more neat, which is nice, because it was this weird concrete bar before. So yeah, as Lucas said, he's exactly right in that. It was redone in the exact same way around the 9-year anniversary. Now, we did have Reborn X over here, and the big thing that was right here is, just like for 2025 New Year's, we had this big Reborn X sign. If you check out the Reborn X video, you will see that in the edit. But besides that, spawn has really remained the same. We've kind of perfected a lot of it, even though the Plot World players are still unhappy. We do not care. Oh yeah, there's also this little bridge here. This is where you fall from the island. So now there's a path back to spawn from it. And it looks really nice. What else is really close here? Oh yes, Tower 0. So, one of the changes here is just that we connected the Lemon Bunker, which we talked about in the last devlog, which is really an FI bunker. It's just FI bunker extension. It's just connected down here now from the tower as well. And, oh yeah, right over here, these ice fields got redone. So, it was just a mess of world edited ice, and it didn't look right. So I had this little pond back, and now there's some actual ground with trees, and this is setting up for part of the RTC Reactor project, where we're going to have power lines covering the area, just like we did with the Themepark Reactor. You had those power lines coming out of Das Village, but this one's going to come from the RTC Reactor to power Founding Island. Oh yeah, and then there's this thing over here, right? This just got added a few days ago.
Yeah, this was built by Acronym. He wanted to add a little shop kind of between Founding Island and Gerudo Desert. So that is currently a work in progress. It's a very new build that's kind of coming together slowly.
It's looking nice though. It's kind of in the like same style as the towers, so I'd say it fits in. You know, it's a bit tall.
Yeah, again, I'd like to kind of see where this goes. It's kind of interesting.
Oh, yeah, and then I guess circling around here, we could go to the South Gate. So the South Gate has gotten a little bit of changes finally. We do finally have an automatic mode, and the gate also got redid a little bit. It still breaks all the time, but that's mostly just from like 10-year-olds spamming it. But this automatic mode is a lot simpler than the one over at Main Gate, because Main Gate has all these overrides and locks and all this stuff. This one is just going to detect the time of day and then send a single pulse to open or shut it based on that. And now, when it's shut, there's also a arrow barrage. And this got hooked up to IMS2, which the IMS cart is currently missing. So I'll probably have to fix that eventually. But it was definitely missing some stuff over here. And then FI really, you know, FI is another thing that's slowly but surely getting locked into place. We got tweaks in the FI bunker, of course, but FI is really shaped up, and now so much of our work is out east in the RTC. That radio tower got redone to this fancy thing. I love this like stupid satellite dish thing that I did with the block displays. But with that, that's really it for the FI build changes. Now, for the control system changes, Lucas, I'm going to let you introduce that. The weather forecast.
Yeah, so I will set time today here, just so that it triggers. So you can see every single day, so there's those stupid sounds. Every single day there is going to be a generated weather forecast that basically, so we did a change where we disabled the weather cycle game rule, and instead every single day there is a randomly generated weather forecast. I won't go into too many details exactly how it calculates whether it should be rainy or whatever. Today it shows that it will be sunny. Sometimes it can choose, let's say if it chooses that we want to have a rainy day, it will generate a random time in the Minecraft day to change the weather. And as the devlog kind of gets recorded, we might even see that happen.
Yep, and those chances are going to change based on the current weather, recent events, that kind of stuff. And this is also in the global control station over there, so you don't need to be an FI for that to work. But this is something that was actually talked about years ago, and Lucas finally implemented it a few months ago. And now it makes thunderstorms a bit more frequent, but it feels like we have real weather events now, and it definitely adds some atmosphere to our world.
Yeah, and there's also like small probability changes, as you did mention. Like if there are like 20 sunny days in a row, the chances of having a rainy day get increased. So yeah, there's a little bit of semantics in there, but that's the general idea.
And someone made me increase the lightning chance, so when there is a thunderstorm, it's absolutely insane on the server.
It was even higher previously. We had to actually reduce it. Every like 2 seconds there would be a lightning strike, so we had to change that.
Can't believe you, dude.
You were the one actually in charge of changing the numbers. You could have said something.
Hey,
okay?
hey, you're very convincing. All right.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So this is not in FI. This is kind of both FI and RTC. I don't know why my chunks are doing that, but for Reborn X, of course, we had to figure out, and this is covered a lot in Devlog 33. We had to figure out how we make that event meaningful. So what Ezra Thunder set on doing was making this big museum. And this documents all of our history. It's got this, like, cafe over there. There's some books made by different people describing... I think this one's ripped straight from our, like, fandom, whatever, Wikipedia. Right? Is that what that's called? That fake Wikipedia? Project Redstone fandom?
Yeah, it's called fandom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's ripped straight from that. We got the posters by Creepiton, and then there's photos that let you go back in time. And it's really cool.
We also have another exhibition below this somewhere. Yeah, down here there's an exhibition here with the, other miscellaneous posters with different sectors. We got the museum at the end here.
Yeah, this is like a project.
Got our corporate,
project exhibition, I think. Oh, this is a devlog thumbnail. Ha.
Down here we also have the basement. If you want to quickly show that. The curator, that has its own storyline. There's also a secret room if you kind of step on all the golds counterclockwise to make something. Kind of jump on it. Jump on that rock, I guess. You kind of unlock the secret room. On the left here we have the Coalition office, which is supposed to be where the Coalition would meet up whenever we need to meet. If you insert a master key here, you will get to the offices. You get the director, who is IJD, and the curator, who is also called Ezra, not Ezra Thunder, you tuners. In IJ's office, there is also a secret button here that opens up the basement that can give you access to the FI and RTC bunkers. Yeah. There is also a toilet.
Oh, great. Dude, I can't get through the exit of the door I made.
On the other side here, you have the credit rooms. I think if you exit this credit room, you might get shot straight into the tunnel that puts you into the bunkers.
Hang on, I'm gonna lock in. I'm gonna lock in. No, I'm not gonna fall. I did it.
I'm not scared at all. I'm not scared to fall. Ah!
Hey, I didn't even fly. But yeah, these posters have a lot of aura around them. That's the special thing down here. There's also, if you want a view of the underneath, there's the redstone view, and you can see the curator commands. Now the curator, I don't know if I've ever talked about this in the devlogs, but since 2023, we've always been talking about this Redstoneworld lore. I started working on this script, and it ended up being like 30,000 words long. We were talking always about turning it into like a movie or something, but I really don't have the time for that. Oh yeah, I've talked about this plenty in previous devlogs, but we don't really have the time for doing that, so I was looking for Reborn X to at least do something with it. So that is where the curator comes in. I'm gonna hide that chat message because that's partially a I'm on like the 8th part or something there, but this is like a hunt around the whole Redstoneworld. That's what you're gonna be doing here, and then you're finding an object, you're gonna bring it back, and then you get a unlisted YouTube link from this channel to watch, and each link pieces together the story, and they're all kind of well made and stuff. So that was really fun, and like oops, I didn't mean to fall in. That was like the best part of Reborn X for me.
So yeah, that entire 30,000 word script got condensed into 7 shorter videos. I'm not going to call them super short, but it's definitely shorter than 30,000 words.
Yeah, each video was like 3 to 7 minutes or so. So it's a lot more doable. And then this is the connection to the FIRTC tunnels, because we didn't want to make it where it's just R-Corp rail to get in. And you need a master key to get in. And then neither of the minecarts are here. That's amazing. But if there was, and you didn't want to do this long walk, then you could grab one of those minecarts. Meanwhile, I'm gonna fly through, and I'm quicker than Lucas.
Okay.
He's
Hacking,
cheating.
basically.
No, you went as spectator. And then F5 is this way, RTC is that way. However, if you wanted to go a different way in, and not the surface, and you hit that little button that we showed in the office, then you would fall down here. Now, to make sure I don't spoil anything, I have to run this command. Do not worry about it. That did not do anything. Don't be concerned. Now, when you're down here, this is a little, like... What do we describe this? A Pico bunker?
Yeah, we ran out of SI prefixes. We had to resort to Pico.
Great. And this lets you get into either the FI bunker or the RTC micro bunker. And then there is, of course, on the surface, there is this nice bridge. This is where we took our photo. And I don't think there's any, like, secret in this one, right? For the advancement, we haven't done that yet.
No, not yet. The advancement's actually, as of the recording of this devlog, it is still accessible. By the time this is released, probably not. We'll have to add a secret. There is this little photograph picture-based thing. That's a cool little... I guess that's the Easter egg for this.
Yeah, the camera.
Picture-taking spot. I think we got like 15 players online while this picture was taking place, and we NPC'd in all of the people who couldn't make it. So we had a huge staff picture here.
Yeah, here it's actually on
June
display right here. It was a very, very beautiful day. And then we also had a really big turnout for the actual Reborn X event, which is where we just played some mini games and stuff and opened up the museum.
And as you can see, IJ's fat name tag is covering my face in that picture.
Well, that's because Ezra imported the one that had the name tags. I gave him the one that doesn't have it. I don't know.
That's fine.
Yeah. Here we had to add... This was not in the R-Corp Rail when I finished it. This was done after the fact, so this had to be added as like a separate second set of R-Corp Rail stations. But this made this interchange even more insane. There's so many different routes here. And then this bridge is extended and takes you to the Tower 3.0 ground entrance. Okay, moving on fully to the RTC. You may remember in the last devlog I talked about how I was expanding this piece of land here, and that was for finally bringing back the old water park tree. This was a beautiful thing made by Hellcat for the water park section of the theme park during probably about like the Civil War. And that got removed when the water park got redone a bit, but this is beautiful, and I'm glad that we've found a permanent home for it. It's got a lot of nice lantern, dude. It's got a lot of nice lanterns, and an Ender Dragon apparently. But that is just a big surface change, and then we are now going to start descending for some industry complex changes.
Bro, it's so funny.
Dude, it's not okay. Anyways, this is the return to the industry complex once again. And there are... Okay, these signs are actually proper. Good. Now we have finally added the correct doors to all four sides, so it's looking a lot more symmetrical now. For most of these, they'll just open upon approach, besides that one, which is a level 3. And they each got their little color theme. And nothing's changed in the storage room except that we finally have items in all the chests. But a lot of our focus has been over here in IMS/farms. Ignore the TPS doing that. It's that time of the night. So, first of all, our buffer storage right here. Oh, I forgot it goes here. Yeah. We finally patched up the holes in the wall, but these now are being used. So there's items going through this buffer all the time, and there is some little like codes here. C just means that that is a farm that you can turn on or off, and F means that it's in our little factory. And now these items are going to start going into that IMS central pipe. You just heard that click. That means that something just went through, and it just went into the storage pipe over there. Now, you may ask, where does this stuff come from? And that is where the plantation section comes in. Now, you can't open this door yet because of Rule 11, so we're going to go through that way instead. Haha.
No!
So all these things are disabled, because I don't know why they're disabled, but my guess is that when you have a lot of these items... No, they're also turned... Dude, they're turned off in the admin room. When you have these things running all the time, they are going to go into that central pipe, and when you do that, you get forced loading of the RTC. So sometimes that can make people go insane on the server because TPS will go down till the farms all process themselves. So it's whatever. But we've got a lot of sugarcane immediately here. This is through the old quasi-connectivity design that we've always used here. I believe since my tenure. And then we also have the same thing for bamboo. And then we've really, like, mastered a lot of our farms here, so we don't really have to design a lot of new ones. We can just copy what we've already made. We've got the cactus and the meat farm from the main bunker. These are from the Founding Island. We got our carrot bread, potatoes, beetroots probably somewhere. Yeah, beetroots up there. This is wheat and wheat seeds. We got our 2 bone meal farms. We've got the melon and pumpkin. And you can see that all these are being disabled. And you may be wondering where they're disabled from. And it is not the TARDIS. We've done nothing with this at all. We decided that we were going to put our admin stuff actually above this metric section. So it's not accessible yet, but this is where you can turn on and off the farms. You can also do door locks and all this kind of stuff. There, you just saw that we got some items coming through. And there's some really cool controls here. So yeah, the ones that you can toggle here: cocoa, melon, bone meal, bamboo, sugarcane, and then our 3 fabrication ones are going to be added here very soon.
You can also see on the item counters on the IMS, you have IMS main storage over here, how many items went through IMS main storage, and how many items here went through the buffer storage. Now, recently we added a digit to this because we realized 10 million wouldn't be enough. This, like, especially when we were working around RTC, this number went up really fast. Like, within a couple days, we reached 100,000 items. We're like, okay, we need another digit. But yeah, you can see that we've definitely started processing some items. If you compare it to the old devlog, you'll see that this is a much higher number now.
Yeah. Now, you may be wondering what these go to, and that is to our special factory. Now, so far, we've got 3 farms inside of this. We've got the cookie farm over here. This one makes use of the new auto crafter. I don't know if it's even new anymore, but we've got our wheat and cocoa that come in from the storage system, and it's going to be automatically crafted into cookies. And these are all also going to be wired up. They're already wired up to the storage system, so these farms only turn on if there's actually demand for the item. So this signal will turn on when the storage system loses enough cookies that we need fabrication over here. Now what we also have here is the tree farm. This is the one that I made in I was like on some Christmas for the FI bunker. And this is the exact same one. It works well. It's with the azaleas. And but unlike that one, it's all of its output is not going to go directly to storage. Instead, at first, this kind of resets at the start of the day. So at the start of the day, it's going to default to the charcoal farm, which is right here. And this is still using my FI bunker charcoal farm design because there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, so why not use it? So once this fills up with 3 comparator levels, so it's like 43 items, then this is going to go and start making charcoal from this 43 logs, and then only after that is logs going to start going to storage. And that will be combined with the charcoal. And this farm is one that only runs at day. But now... go ahead.
Yeah, okay, so I was going to say that this farm is very bone meal hungry. And the place where it actually gets its bone meal is from this, I call it a cache. Because that's kind of what it does. It kind of holds some items. So we have the bone meal, the cocoa bean, and the wheat from storage. And it holds a bit of those items in these, you can see them in the hoppers, maybe a bit in the chest, depending on how full it is. It holds some of those items, and then the factory, which is the cookies and the farm, they kind of send minecarts over, so I can probably do that. Actually, there's a minecart.
Oh yeah,
now.
You can see bone meal is waiting, and there's currently bone meal from a refill being circled up above, so this is going back into the system. So it's currently waiting for enough bone meal to be there, so that, okay, now that it saw that there was enough bone meal, then that minecart was allowed to grab it, and now it picked up its order, and it's leaving. And now...
and it's probably going to empty enough and send a IMS request to get
okay, there we go.
Takes so much bone meal.
We just got an order. So now that bone meal went in there, it grabbed... I cannot show you that paper. Right, it's got a name, but that's the address. It's going up, and it arrives in our beautiful IMS launcher.
It's actually a queue because it takes the queue of minecarts that come in as a queue, and then it queues them up and then puts them as a neat ordered queue as a queue into the queue system where it goes as a queue into the storage.
You need to shut up. 2021 IJ did it better. Here's a clip from Devlog episode 4.
They're just managing these diamond tracks, the diamonds for these diamond tracks, which IMS did a lot simpler.
Reminder of the day.
And then you have to, and then there's a launcher here, and then the launcher, it's a launcher to launch you into the launcher, which then launches you into the storage system. So that takes up a lot of space.
This was the right way. It is always a launcher. Anyways, so you see our bone meal is now grabbed. It used the categorization that we showed off the last devlog, and now it is going back up. It's not going to bother even going into the tower. It's going to return right here, and now it is going back to that factory cache where it is going to unload its bone meal. And just to be safe, this whole area gets chunk loaded whenever there's any sort of, shenanigans going on.
And you can see that instant minecart unloader here that we have that preserves the minecart and instantly removes all the items from it, and it gets put into the sorter here. There is a small feature on here where you can manually request items too, so if I want we're kind of a little low on, let's say, wheat. So I can request a wheat manually, and it will do the exact same thing as it did for the bone meal, but for the wheat.
Yep, and there it goes. Also, the entire RTC IMS gets force loaded if there is a cart that goes through the launcher. That explosion scares me every time, but it's just the tree farm. Yeah. I made it look like a block of TNT, but that's just using fireballs.
Yeah. I think the only real other thing with IMS is a small update where there's now a connection from Tower 1. If you want to show that off, there is a room in Tower 1 where you can send items to the RTC storage, and it kind of goes through bridge and outputs them into
So you can see
IMS.
this is the hole in the central donation center industry complex from FI Tower 1. So the place that's going to be where that gets done from is the Tower 1 vault, which is a level 3 staff area. There is now this new chest here. Send items to GovVault/RTC storage, because RTC storage is how things enter the government vault. Now this one was a pain in the ass to route. It does have to go straight through the cafeteria, so there's new carpets. But if you just throw some random stuff in here, it's not going to go into, it just goes into RTC sorting, so it's fine. And then it has to go all the way through the bridge, and then... Oh, is the smart unload new?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, so
yeah, small take, but yeah. If there are players on the edge of FI, kind of like that stupid spot where RTC gets loaded as well, it does unload FI and switches to global control just to reduce lag.
Yeah, we noticed like this area over here was so laggy. Like especially if you're in the hotel, it was kind of unbearable. So that's why the smart unload is now a thing. And that makes sure like the FI train systems aren't running before it activates that. But then you'll see here, there's the actual pipe, and then it goes down into Tower 2, and then it's smooth sailing from there. And I guess the last thing new in IMS is actually the smelter being made fully functional. So this is going to take in... I didn't mean to take seeds. This goes from the incinerator line, actually. It checks at the last second if you got stuff like potatoes, cod, pork chop, all the meats, and then the raw ores, too. And that's going to automatically smelt them. And I believe we don't ever put in real potatoes. We put this like the main bunker. We're only wanting baked potatoes. So all potatoes from the farm come directly here into that smelter, and the smelter is automatically going to replenish itself with bamboo from the bamboo farm, and you can see that IMS linkage right there. Yeah.
And one last thing, since IMS kind of connected to Vault, I guess we can kind of talk about it a bit. It's been fully completed. I think these are mostly IJ changes, if you want to talk about those. But yeah, we've finalized Vault now.
Yeah, so Vault was pretty good last year. Like, we got that elevator and all that in. I'm not going to bother about this, you know, we didn't get the pool. We instead got this. I do kind of wish we had a pool. It would be kind of fun. But, the vault is now, you can now leave. That was one of the big things. Before, you weren't able to leave. Now you can actually enter, like, fully properly, too. That's fully enabled. There's also the reconnect. So, it's going to handle, if you, like, leave the server and you come back after some time, it's going to make sure you get all out of the vault and everything, kick you out properly. And this is the legit way to get back. This will take carts up to Tower 2. Which is actually a lot harder to do than going down, because you need to have, like, invisible armor stands so they don't crash into each other. We had that box storage and all this working last time, but now we finally have a total value reading, which is now $47 million. Looking pretty good. And then...
I think the admin thing is new as well, right?
Yes, the admin thing. So, this, you need to have the teller card. If you watch the curator fragments, then this will be a familiar setting. But over here is the controls. This is just a permanent like food supply, so you just walk in and this will refresh itself with just some water and steaks and stuff. And then these are your admin controls. So you have disable elevator. This just blocks out the elevator shaft. Then there is the lockdown, which blocks the elevator and blocks the stairs. So you can no longer go, you could go between the bottom floors, but, no, never mind. You can't go between any floor. But then the fancy one is if you got some people in here that you actually don't really like, you can hit this decontaminate button, and you won't hear it because
I can be your test subject. I'll stand by box storage here.
Yeah, so it blocks out the elevator, turns on a lockdown, and then I was also there, and then everything dies below the 3rd floor. Oh god, the old voice line.
Yeah.
But yeah, and there's also an advancement now for going into the vault. But you do need a like staff member with you at the time still to go into the vault. You need someone with a teller card, and if you don't have a level 3 staff card, then you need someone also with a level 3 staff card to accompany you. We've got this crazy security system. But we've got a lot of money in here now, and stuff now trickles in from, like, the casino, the VIP toilet. Those are all recent connections, too. We're starting to get actual payments being sent to the vault.
I think that's everything that we wanted to cover in this episode.
Yep, so we brought back the devlogs. Showed our little tweaks that have been going all around. Reborn X was really successful, but we've got a lot more changes above ground and under this area of RTC to talk about in the next part. So, thank you very much for watching. Don't turn into an Ender Dragon again, and we will see you guys in the next part. Thank you oh my god, thank you very much.